Hello. Yes, we will have a better microphone and a better setup here soon with this stuff. Um, we're going to be working on the Millennium Falcon build. Here's the current issue we're working on. This is number 16. Right there, you can see it up in the top corner right there. 16 and 17 today. We might even do 18, depending on how much or how little is involved. This is kind of cool because in this issue, we actually do get a little look at what the what this interior area looked like when Lando had the ship. A lot cleaner looking than, Han. Sorry, Han, you just didn't take good care of it. There's, it looked pretty darn cool to do this this white look, like basically do a paint job on the whole thing and make it look white. Oh, that's kind of cool. You get an actual floor plan of the Millennium Falcon in this issue. Neat. All right, so what we're going to do is start with number 16 here. Let's get the bag out and start looking at our parts for this issue. And got a lot to catch up with. I think I've got up to issue 26 or 27. And we're at 16 and 17, so yeah, I mean, we're going to have a few of these streams to do some catch-up work. Catch-up. Love me some ketchup. All right. Got no little screws or anything in there. Let's see what we've got in this one. We've got another outer wall panel. We've got more frame. Cool. And we've got, oh nice, this is the Jeffries tube. I know it's a Star Trek thing. But the tube that will connect the hold to, presumably, to the cockpit and the two gunner stations. And then nice little floor setup here. This is probably something that I'm going to want to paint, or at least do some dry brush stuff on to make it look cool. This is where like a little silver dry brush, or a little like lead. What is this? Gunmetal. Little gunmetal, like this game color gunmetal. Looks really good just with a dry brush. As a matter of fact, since I know we're going to be eventually using this, I'm going to look ahead in the thing here, but I'm guessing, yeah, we're going to be using it almost right away. So I'm going to actually do a quick dry brush on this guy. If you haven't seen dry brush technique, I'm probably not a great example of how to do it, but just get a little piece of paper or something. Shake your paint. Oh, I have a special device for paint shaking. I can't bring it over because it's way back here, but it is like a super cool little vibrating paint shaker. And you basically just put it on there. All right, we're gonna put a little bit of paint on here. Don't need a whole lot. I'll put this where you guys can see it. Just a few little globs of paint right there. And then we're going to take our dry brush, this fella right here. See a little nubbin on the top there? We're going to get just a little bit of paint on there. And then we're going to keep like putting it on here until there's very little of it left. And then we're going to hit this thing to kind of give it a really nice little sheen. I didn't take off enough because there's quite a bit left on here. Let's get a little more. And what's cool is with the dry brush, the stuff you put on goes into the recesses. Sometimes you can even do it on your hand. Goes into the recesses and gives it a really nice, like, kind of weathered look. But you really want to go light on there. And I like kind of just going to the grooves specifically and running it. And what you want to do is go perpendicular to the grooves, even though I wasn't doing that a second ago, so that what you put on actually, like, gets caught in there. All right, I'm not nuts. We've got a lot of little extra splooch up there. So you know what I'm going to do? Well, first off, let's clean this brush. Dry brush or not, you don't want to leave paint, even though you think you're getting all the paint off of it, you don't want to leave any paint on there. Get the paint off and then dry it. Because having bristles that are stuck together on your dry brush is bad, bad, bad. And then careful when you never want to, like, when you dry it, you never want to, like, jam your bristles on it. You want to pull back and kind of, you're both squeegeeing the water out and you are shaping the brush when you do this. So highly recommend you do things that way. Let's take a little bit of game ink or game wash. This is a black wash. We will put a little dribble of it in our palette right here. And then we're going to do a smidge of black wash, and what we're going to do is almost immediately wipe it off with that paper towel that I just brought over. So for this one, we want a good meaty brush, a brush that can hold a lot of ink. This guy's good. And what we're going to do is we're going to brush it very liberally over the cracks. Don't worry if it's sloppy, that's okay. The important thing is that you get a lot of it in there. Again, kind of doing it quick so I can get to it before it dries. In Colorado, very dry climate, so you don't want to wait too long. And then you just want to kind of wipe it straight off. And see, that adds a bunch of depth and lines and stuff like that to it. That looks really good. And that is where we're kind of gonna let that puppy dry. And clean this off. Clean our brush, and then we're going to clean that palette because why not, right? Okay, brush is clean. Let's two-hand this guy. There we go. And then we're going to we'll just get much of this stuff out of the palette. No point in leaving a big messy palette, even though it's paint palette. They're supposed to get dirty. Let's let it get dirty with non-game wash stuff. Okay, all right, is that all right? Okay. Let's get rid of this guy so I don't accidentally put my hand in it, and we'll put our other stuff back as well. Okay, so we're going to let that dry a little bit. Let's go ahead and get started with our build. Hey, Monica. Hey, Wicked Kitten. We'll get to the happy little trees and the puffy clouds and all that stuff. Oh, good, we have more corridor arches. Jeez Louise. Yeah, these are this is kind of the most tedious part of doing these. Taking each of these little brackets little pads right here and putting them around the inside of these rings, if you can see the light there. I guess I'll quit blocking the light with my hand. So each of those little divots gets one of these. So really, this just really becomes an opportunity for me to talk while I cut stuff off the sprue. And this is another situation where, again, going to be very careful when I make that last cut of these off the sprue that I am not letting them kind of bounce off of the mat, the rubber painting mat that I have. Slap, what's it called? Slap mat? Slap something? Because that's how one of these bounced away last week, and I did eventually find it before I vacuumed, which is very nice. But you know, I could have just as easily lost it forever. And these little pads you don't want to lose forever. This feels, sorry fan home, this feels like busy work. I feel like this one is busy work that you're just giving us to do. Because this is so much of the same little pad over and over and over again. I guess it's not busy work, because it technically is a different color, right? So, you know, you want to give us plastic pieces that are molded and not pre-painted or pre-colored in any way. But still. All right, so we'll do the first one. This is a situation where we want glue, and I think we even want a toothpick to put said glue in all the right places. What did I decide? Did I decide it was easier? I think I decided it was easier to apply the glue to each little pad and then put the pad on the thing. So, oh yeah, glasses. That's what I'm missing. I'm missing my glasses. Now that I'm trying to look at this stuff, I cannot see it. So this needs to be a step one every week where I put on my glasses. It's kind of like Mr. Rogers and putting on his sweater. It's a beautiful day in the Millennium Falcon. A beautiful day for a neighbor. Won't you be mine? Could you be mine? I have always wanted a smuggler just like you. Why is he all of a sudden have an accent? Why all of a sudden is Mr. Rogers Southern? He's not. It's from like the Midwest, right? Kansas or Iowa or something? I think. Nebraska, maybe? One of those states. Also, if you're getting any, they're not comically funny glasses, Monica. They're just your standard issue Walgreens readers, really, if I'm being honest. We are just making our way through all of these little pieces. Last time I did try applying all the glue to the frame, and it just was a mess. It just turned into a big mess. So doing these one by one is a way to keep A, glue from getting all over my fingers, and B, glue from getting stuck on parts of the frames that I don't want them to be stuck on. This is, while it's tedious and monotonous, it is the best way that I found to do it. And don't worry, I have already managed to get glue on my fingertips, and every time I press them together to pick up another one of these pieces, I notice that they are sticking together. So, while I'm not getting glue on other parts. I'm getting it on. Let's get paper towel. I'm getting it on my fingers. Yes. Don't worry. Worry not. That is already happening. Look at that. Already. Right there. Glue on my finger. Glue on my finger! It's going to pull my skin off. What's cool is that, you know, I won't have fingerprints. So if I don't know, rob a bank or something, then there's a little bonus there. They won't be able to find me from my fingerprints because I won't have any. Sergeant, it looks like the culprit had built a Millennium Falcon. Oh no! That could be literally tens of people. We'll never narrow it down. Alright, guess what? We are almost done with frame 1 of 3. 1 of 3. Well, I could do those kind of glasses, Monica, but they might be a little detrimental to the actual completion of the Millennium Falcon project. Just saying. Look at that. Look at that. Glue, more glue. Like those indentations? No, that's where like the glue has dried and settled in my fingertip and kind of pulled it together, and it's just horrible. All right. Hey, got one frame done. Oh, look at that beautiful thing. Look at that beautiful thing right there. Oh, it's a piece of work, is what that is right there. One little padded frame dealy done. 2 more to go. Sprue cut, sprue cut, sprue cut, sprue cut. And I'm going to do all 3 columns. And then I'm going to flip it around and cut all the pieces off. This works a little bit better than the way I did it before, I think. And we do it very close and low to our mat so we don't lose these little tiny dumb pieces. I'm saying it more for me than I am for you. By the way, you hear printing in the background, 3D printing, sorry about that. I am printing a Marvel Snap frame. Someone ordered one on Etsy with their family name on there as a logo. So that's currently in the 3D printer. Just finishing up, so it'll probably wrap up while I'm doing this. Hey, man apart. You will be my witness. Can I get a witness? Alright, piece number 1. Oh, I grabbed that poorly. There we go. But I will say this, Monica. I mean, if I ever need tips on engagement, you know, getting audience engagement, you will be the first person I talk to, and I'm not blowing smoke up your butt. That's like a genuine thing. I feel like you do know this stuff. You know social media, or at least you know streaming and what how to build an audience. Why do I think that? I don't know why I think that, but I think that. I think from what I've looked at in the issues that I've received that I still haven't taken out of their boxes or bags, I think these might be the last little padded rings that that I need to do. What I need is a third hand, and I'm not talking about one of those like third hand dealies, you know, that actually that clip. Actually, you have one right here. I mean, a third hand that while I'm getting this piece together, the third hand can be putting glue on a toothpick. I need a third autonomous robot hand that can do stuff. I really do like doing these streams, though. If I could make, and I know it takes building up a following. It also takes actually having better graphics than what you're looking at right here. I'm in a little square, and then all this stuff is a big square right here. And actually having like music, better microphone quality, which I've got. I've got music, and I've got a better microphone. Would I get enough of an audience to start making enough that I make more from doing this than I would if I were to keep driving for Lyft when I'm not doing freelance or doing a podcast? Lyft is the thing that I want to say is the expendable part of the triangle of my day. If the day is a triangle, podcasting, freelance, and Lyft are the parts of it. Lyft is the part of that triangle that I like to get rid of. I do enjoy the part of Lyft where I talk to people and where I meet people, and blew that. Got lots of glue on my fingers from that piece. Oops, because I bumbled the piece. Gonna have to put a little more glue on this little plate before I do the next dealio. Oh shit, that can't be good. That piece on the bottom here should not be rotating, I'm guessing. I don't want to twist it anymore and have it fall off. Oh, I guess I can. It looks like this is an extra piece. Well, let's, because I'm looking at the three on the sheet, and none of the three of them have that stuff on it. All right, we'll cut it off. Let's just cut it off. And do it very carefully, because that is a deal. Okay. All right. A little more glue on here. Then we'll cut the next set of pieces. Again, Bob Smith Industries, best cyanoacrylate glue of all time. Yeah, I know. Lyft is guaranteed money. Like, I could go out right now and I could do 3 hours of driving and maybe get like 75 or 80 bucks. It's really not a lot, honestly. Because when you consider what I charge for freelance, it's more than what I make from Lyft. So it's like, oh, okay, well then the question is, do I start working on building up my freelance client base instead of doing live streams, podcasting other than the things that I'm currently doing? All right. Last frame. Oh, that's a big globule of glue on this guy, which means that a good portion of it will and did end up on my finger. Yeah, the other part is like trying to grab this little tiny padded piece and hold it in such a way that I can apply the glue and then put it on the frame. That's the other part of it. And put it on such a way that when I apply it, oh God, it's like I just missed my piece with the toothpick and put the glue just directly on my finger. Just apply it directly to the finger. Ah, that was close. Actually, nearly dropped that piece. Huh. And then I did drop it. Oh, look at that. It landed the correct way for me to pick it up and put it back in. Unbelievable. Isn't that amazing? Very successful day today. Did a TMS. Had a burrito for lunch. I'm going to just keep flinging these things like they're tiddlywinks is what I'm going to do. Had a nice little burrito for lunch because it is burrito day. And then did Coverville. Did a bike ride. And even got some freelance done this morning. Like it has been a productive day. The finger is getting progressively worse, folks. I mean, it looks like I'm carving pieces out of my finger, but it really isn't. It's just glue. It's just the way the glue is hardening and setting in here. And I've got that Bob Smith activator stuff, but I don't know if that'll make things worse, right? Oh gosh. Look at this. I'm like completely bombing this piece. I'm putting glue all around the outside of it. Yeah, this is again, this is where the problem lies. Yeah, you're right, Monica. And I took an SEO course and I learned how to market websites, like basically add links and stuff like that, and add content so that websites can. Oh, look at that! The that noise that you don't hear anymore means that the 3D print that I was working on is now finished. I can move that from the printer into the alcohol bath, but that will create a whole new set of noise. So, no. Get that? Did you guys see that? Here's the problem, is that my fingers are getting there's so much glue, dried glue on my fingers, that it's like I'm trying to pick things up with pieces of finger that don't have pads on them. If that makes any sense. It's like I'm trying to pick up, like my fingers tips have turned to chopsticks, and I'm trying to pick up pieces of chopstick, or pieces of glue with like chopsticks. You know what I'm saying? Did I explain that very well? I don't think I did. 2 more pieces, and then I think we're done with these dang rings, and I'm done gluing my fingertips together. Somehow I've managed to do, look at that. Like, that is just... It's very humorous. It's very, very humorous. There we go. 3 rings done. Now, I did... This is the piece that we finished last time. And as you can see, right there, see right there, there is a piece of padding missing. Well, I did find that piece when I was cleaning, like I mentioned. And so while I'm doing this, we're actually going to, that piece, that frame, that circular ring is actually glued in, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to be very careful when I glue this guy in that I don't damage the way that piece is already put into its place. There we go. And now we have the piece right there glued into place. And now my fingers look like an absolute, like they've been put through the ringer. Okay, rings done. How nice is that? All right, cool. Hey, gave this guy a lot of time to dry. Remember, we painted this at the beginning of the stream. So that is now dry. We're going to fit the floor in. The floor has 6 lugs underneath that line up with holes in the base. Start by inserting a screw on one end, but do not tighten it fully. Insert the remaining 5 screws, then tighten them all. Okay, all right, good. Let's make sure this matches up. Well, that sure looks like it matches up to me. There's like a little click into place situation that just happened. All right, these are our screws. Where's my... ¿Dónde está mi scissors? Scissors. I don't know what the Spanish word for scissors is. Got all the rest of it. You know, nailed it. Nailed all the rest of it, but failed on the scissors. All right. I can't remember which one. We're going to grab all these because I can't remember which one we decided was best for the gold screws, but we do have the entire collection of screwdrivers here. Sorry, didn't mean to bang the whoa, earthquake. Didn't mean to bang the thing there. Yeah, you know, you're absolutely right, Monica. I mean, there's like not necessarily just doing one thing or the other, but working on all of it simultaneously. Is that in there? It says not to tighten it, but I want to make sure that it does have it in there. Okay, it does. Now let's do the one on the complete opposite side. Cool. Yeah. Maybe that's the thing. You know, if I want to build my freelance client list back up. Lost a couple during COVID. A couple small businesses that I was working with, unfortunately, didn't make it through the pandemic. So I need to build my client list back up. But I also, in doing so, don't want to neglect the clients that I have. I mean, I've got some great clients. Check out dunwyvern.com, DUNWYVERN. If you're a gamer, and you basically need a gaming pad, like a gaming keyboard. I'm not talking about a full-size keyboard with all the keys. I'm talking about a one-handed gaming keyboard that sits at the side of your main keyboard and lets you access stuff to in your game, and fully moddable, fully customizable. You can customize the lights and the keys so you can see, like, oh, okay, here's all my spells, here's all my melee attacks, or here's my movement keys or whatever. Really, really cool stuff. All right, there is the inside of our Millennium Falcon Jeffries tube. Again, I know it's not a Jeffries tube. Oh, tijeras. That makes sense. Tijeras. All right. Completed assembly, done. Take the first corridor hoop and align it with the end of the corridor as shown. The ends of the arch have dovetails that fit the matching sockets in the floor. Dovetails and sockets and da-da-da-dee-da. It sure does have a little dovetail in there. Look at that. Did I put that guy in there? No, I'll put that guy in there. There we go. We now have the first of our rings. I'm going to guess repeat for the other two. Yes, do the second one. Dovetail goes in. This is pretty cool. Surprised it's not glued in, but you know what? I think there's probably a thing on the top. I mean, there'd definitely be a thing on the top that glues it in the rest of the way. I think these These pegs should match up though. Maybe, let's turn this guy around and see if, is there a better way to put these in so that these pegs, yeah, okay, good to know. There is a left and right that you kind of got to follow. Yeah, these pegs aren't, or these things aren't all in the same way, which is interesting. Because it doesn't tell you which way they should go. I mean, I've either got all three correctly oriented or all three incorrectly oriented. I'll show you what I'm doing, right? So you can see what I'm doing. I'm putting the dovetails of each of those into the frame. So now you can see that those three nubbins follow a little path around, whereas if I had these turned around, they won't. And this looks like, you know, if you look at it straight on, this looks like the very top of the thing, as opposed to if I had them flipped around, they'd be more over here, which would be offset. So I think that's probably correct. Okay, and we're going to be connecting a little bit more of the frame. Let's bring our frame piece over here. Remember this guy from last time? Sure you do. Sure you do. Hey, I'm going to get this toothpick and this glue out of the way before I accidentally put a piece in there. Take frame BF19, this guy, and align it with the radial rib as shown. This is our radial rib right here on the far side. Radial rib right here. Radial rib. Why, yes, I do have scissors, and I could have used them for this, as a matter of fact, yeah. So that's going to go like so, right there. With a couple of black screws. Ding dong ding. Here we go. Three black screws. I don't know how many we'll actually use for this, but let's make sure we don't lose them. It is a use them or lose them situation here. And remember the radial rib goes on top and these things go under. So we put the screw. I found it's easier to put the screw through the radial rib first. Again, with my glue soaked hands. And then line that up. And then while I've got it held in place, screw it in. Ah, so beautiful. When a plan comes together, look at that. Just easy peasy, and the lemon gets squeezy. Finally, we'll screw in the 4-hole flange. Oh, in the 4-hole flange, Mr. Peabody. Nope. This thing does have just enough magnetism to get the screw. I get one shot before it misses. like if I don't get that screw in the right spot the first time, it's gonna get boinked in the wrong direction and be a problem. And there we go. There is the new piece on our frame. Our frame is coming together nicely. All right, that concludes issue 16, I believe. They, again, they show more hull plating, how it fits on the whole thing, including the brand new piece they gave me. I like it, but I want to see. I want to put it together. I don't want to temporarily put it on there, rest it on there gently. I want to see how the whole thing gets together. That's what. Okay, issue 17. I promised you 2 issues, and I'm going to give you 2 issues. Right? Hey, kitty. Kitty cat. Oh no. Oh, whew. I saw a circular ring in there and I got scared for a second, folks. But it's all good. We've got another piece of frame right here. We've got, I believe, the top of the piece that I just put together. Got another ring, but this ring does not have pads to go around the inside. Another piece of the frame, screws and more screws. A little two-pronger, and then a lot of plastic pieces on sprue. Ooh, what is it we'll be building for this part? All right, let's see. We talk about the X-1 TIE Fighter in this issue, and Darth Vader. Orbiting a planet. Does it explain how you know to be right side up to a planet? And why you're perpendicular to it instead of like flat with your butt against it, your butt over the parallel to the planet. All right, hull exterior, internal details, hull frame, blah blah blah. Oh, look at all these instructions. We've got a lot to do. Okay, the corridor cushions. Oh yes, because our corridor, by golly, needs to be cushioned. Collect the corridor. So we're not gonna use these parts for just yet. We're gonna be using this guy, all the stuff on sprues, and the corridor that we put together in the last issue. Basically, this guy's gonna go on top here. Let's actually do a little press fit, and I did predict correctly where the little nubs go. You can see them line up in there with the holes on top. So hooray for me, a 50-50 shot, and I got it right. And that was the case. Start by clipping off the largest cushion, number 10, this guy right here on the outside. On the outside, on the outside. Flat part of the sprue cutter of the clippers goes against the deal. Good. Cushion has 2 bars on the back that fit into grooves on the corridor wall. Test in position, then glue it in place. It's going to go right in there, like so. It fits nicely. Let's glue it in place, shall we? And let's get a fresh toothpick. Do I need more paint? How's my paint situation? I probably have enough paint for this one. Oh, you know what? This is not enough paint. And the good news is these are bigger pieces than those damn cushions, so I think I can just take Bob Smith and put a nice little drop of paint on each of the 2 protruding parts. Gives me plenty of places to hold onto this thing. Gosh, and it just went right into place. So we'll hold that for a second. We'll let Bob Smith do his thing. And next up is going to be the long thin cushion. Wow, that's already set. Beautiful. The long thin cushion from the sprue, right here. Cut and cut. Little drop, little drop. And then this guy goes right on there. And it even says there should be a little gap, and there is a little gap, so it is correct. Let's see if I've got it backwards. Do I have it backwards? I did have it backwards. That's why you do a little press fit, Brian. You do a little press fit so that you don't have it backwards. Haha. There we go. And that guy's in there. Trim 1 cushion 6 off the sprue. Which ones are cushion 6? 8, 7, 12, 9. Look at the, 1 cushion 6. 14, 6. Oh, these are the two sixes. Okay. All right, we'll do one of these guys. Ka-chwink. And ka-chwink. All right. It fits between the two corridor arches on the outside of the curve. So, right here, little press fit. Works just fine. Works too well. It wants to stay put. There we go. A little drop of Bob Smith. A drop of Bob Smith. Hold it in such a way that I get no glue on my fingers. And then we put it in place. Look at that. I managed to do it without getting glue. Again, all over the rest of me. Beautiful. Okay. Trim one cushion 9 off the sprue. These are my 9s right here, so we'll take this guy off. Yeah, can I just reiterate how good a pair of clippers is for this sort of thing? Keeps you from having little nubbins stuck on the side of your of the pieces you take off your model, or when you take them off the sprue. So, I mean, it saves you from having to do a lot of X-Acto knife cleanup. Little Bob Smith, little Bob Smith. And this is going to go on the inside of the curve. We're going to use, for this one, we're going to use little tweezers. Little tweezer action. There we go. And that guy, I have it upside down. Let's fix that. Ta-da. He's going to go on the inside of the curve right here. And it settled in beautifully. Okay, there's the guy right there. See him? See him? See him? There he is, right there. He's right there. Okay. Trim cushion 13 off the sprue. 13, 14, 7, 8, 13. Now here's the thing. There are two 13s, and they're not identical. One goes one way, the other one goes the other way. So we'll do, I've been doing the lower one on all these. We'll keep doing the lower one and hope that that is the one they're asking for. This is definitely a situation where you want to press fit and make sure things line up and fit correctly. Fit it to the inside of the curve in the position shown, and this definitely looks like the one that they're showing. So this one is going to go here. Press fit it. That looks like it's great. Take that guy out. Oh, look at that. We'll just actually glue. We'll hold it by the tweezers and we'll glue it, and we'll put more glue right there. And we won't even use our fingers on this one. We will just put it in place like the good Lord intended, using a pair of metal tweezers. All right, good. Trim cushion 7 off the sprue. Oh, we're making great time, folks. Cushion 7. There's just one cushion 7. And he's this guy right here. Also invest in not just glasses, but a magnifying mirror. Very handy stuff. All right, this guy probably going to go. I think we've padded everything on the inside of this, so I'm guessing it's going to be on the part that we do. Oh, look at that. Okay, fit the bars. So notice the two locating bars on the back of the cushion. You can see them right there. Fit the bars into the slots between the two arches on the outside of the curve so that the cushion overhangs the upper edge of the corridor as shown. Let's do a little press fit. I can show you what it's asking me to do on the outside of the curve. So here's our curved panel. Here's where this is going to go, basically on the outside like that, and enough to where you can see some overhang of the two little pieces right there. Okay, So we're going to grab that with the tweezers. We're going to a little Bob Smith. A little Bob Smith on there. Good. Little tiny dollops of Bob Smith on there, because we got to be careful to make sure that the Bob Smith goes on the part of this that is out, that is showing, and it is. So there we go. That is how that piece is going to look. Trim cushion 8 off the sprue. 8 is this guy right here. Right. Right. Similar thing where 8 is going to go on the 2 arches, the other part of it, so basically right here. This is, I don't want to, like, those arches aren't glued in, so it's like I want to be careful. But it's going to go much like, because my fingers are too big. Let's try the other way. There we go. So it's going to go like that on there. I'm going to make sure I keep this situated that way so I know that the glue goes on the 2 bottom parts. And the bottom parts of the holding brackets. And that way I can put it in and gently press fit it with a pinky, I think is about the only digit of mine that can fit in there. There we go. What's nice is it's a nice little, like the padding kind of gives it some depth and some realism. Cool. All right. Notice that the locating bars are offset so that the cushion only fits one way around, overhanging the edge of the corridor. I did notice that. Yeah, did notice. Oh, no, that's for 14. 14 only goes one way. Hubba hubba. 14 is our piece down here. Oh, yeah, I totally see. I'll show you what I'm seeing, because it's fascinating. Is it, though? If you look at this guy, right there, those two, they're offset. See, there's more space on one side than there is on the other. Yeah, cool. So that is how that works. And so that means the fatter, the one with more side to it, is here. Oh, yeah, there it goes. Okay. This is, there's plenty of room for my fingers, so I'm going to Bob Smith this guy. Oh, does it tell you that I'm using an iPhone as my camera? That's cool. And it's funny that it says it's an iPhone 4 or 5, because it most certainly is an iPhone 14 or 15 or whatever the not most current model, but the previously current model is. There we go. Look at that. More pads in there. How cool is that? All right. Well, I trust you as a mod, Monica. Trim cushion 12 off the sprue. We're running out of cushions. 12 is... Here's where they don't have 12 marked, but it looks like it is this other piece right here. Definitely matches the photo that they have in the book. But it's one of the ones that does not have a little marker tab on it. Took off a little bit of the plastic right there. All right, this 12 gets glued to the top of the corridor in the position shown. And the position it's showing me is right here, right like there. See that? So much easier to put these on when those corridor bars aren't in the way of my fingers. Great. There we go. Cushion done. Trim the remaining cushion 9 off the sprue. There's our remaining number 9. Number 9. Take that off. Oh my gosh, I love it when a corridor comes together. This is going to be so cool. It'll be so cool that this thing is, this corridor is nearly finished. Nearly. Glue the cushion to the top of the corridor as shown. That's the guy that goes right here. Which way does it go is the question. It goes with the narrow part down, or up really in this case. We're going to Bob Smith it. This I'm going to use tweezers. It's a narrow piece, and as a way to keep from getting a lot of glue on my fingers. There we go. Sits in perfectly, just right in there. And there's one more place where a cushion can go, and one more cushion on the sprue. So, all right. See you tomorrow, Monica. Enjoy your dinner. Have a good night. Thanks for being here. Cool. There we go. And that sprue is empty. Empty. Let's make sure we know how this goes. It does go in like that. Cool. With the narrow part down in this case. A little Bob Smith. A little Bob Smith here. And voila. Cool. Glue the cushion and remaining slots in the corridor. Right on. Here we go. We are going to connect the bottom to the top. Completed halves of the corridor should look like this. Note the 3 locating pins and matching holes circled and the 8 lugs arrowed. Fit the top of the corridor to the bottom, making sure the pins and lugs engage. Engage. All right, ready for this? Oh gosh, this is exciting stuff. Putting these pieces together. I'm going to use the magnifier for this. These things move, right? Like these pieces all move around. So you want to make sure that as you get these in the right place, wow, just right like that, huh? It's a very satisfying little click into place that these each do. Oh, nicely done. Look at that. It just goes right together. Oh, no, almost goes right together. Like I'm talking about how beautifully this thing fits. This part, a little janky winky. Hold the completed corridor assembly together. Fit the end ring over the recess in the end of the corridor. So this ring goes over here and holds the top to the bottom very nicely. There we go. Look at that. And now, oh, look at that. Like, it's so cool. Like Han Solo could. Here's Han Solo coming through the corridor. Doo, 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 doo. How cool. And then he comes down the way. Neat. And then the other end of this goes into what we've already built, which is this guy right here, and it connects right up to that temporarily. There you go. So you can now look and see that, oh, if I go through the hold, I can end up with the table to play a little bit of 3D chess. This, I'm sure, will get glued in like one of the next issues or something, but that's cool. That concludes number 17, guys. That's it. 17, issue 17 is done. And, oh my gosh, 59 minutes and 59 seconds. That means we're done here. Perfect hour. Could not have planned that better myself. All right, folks, that's it for today's live stream. That is issues 16 and 17 of the Star Wars Build the Millennium Falcon. Hope you enjoyed listening to me and barely getting to see any of the model getting put together, because I should have a camera. I should set the camera up so it's looking straight down. That would be cool. All right, folks, you guys are all awesome. Thanks for being here. You can go ahead and close the stream now, and we'll see you all later. Bye.